Alright, so here in Medina, at the Prophet's Mosque, the Haram Mosque. Nice place, you can see. It's my last day in Saudi Arabia, second to last day, leaving tomorrow. I'm not actually allowed in, because I'm not Muslim, but can walk around the outside. I risked it at the Dome of the Rock in Jerusalem, but here, being on Saudi territory, not the best idea, so not gonna do anything there. Anyways, just a little quick intro before I show the Biennale. Though if you don't really care what I have to say, feel free to skip that. Skip this. I'll put a little timestamp down there, and you can just skip whatever I have to say. Basically, wrapping up about 2 weeks in Saudi Arabia. Beautiful, beautiful place. People are super welcoming. I had heard many stories from my friends, well, I guess acquaintances, who had visited, and they were saying that the people in Saudi are the most welcoming you'll ever meet in your life. And I didn't 100% believe that until I got here. I realized it was pretty much true. I was, for the first week here, I was traveling with a female friend of mine who flew in from Vienna, and on her flight, she said that, well, because she's basically she's a solo, white female, 5'3" woman, and she said that so many people were asking her, why you're visiting Saudi, what are you doing here, like, why do you want to come, in a nice way, of course. And when she told them, she's like going to see the culture, check out different cities, she said that so many people had invited her over to their homes for dinner. And one person in particular, this guy named Saad, or they say here Saq, he was on the aisle across from her, and he was shouting over everybody for like 2 hours of the flight, talking to her. Eventually, exchanged contact information. Nice guy. He picked us up our first day there. Turns out his uncle owns a very big construction company here in Saudi, and so because it was Eid, he had off. He showed up in his big Lexus truck, took us around to Kobar, gave us a free tour of the area for a couple hours, took us to a beach club, sat down, got some nice ice cream by the waves, took us to a couple of restaurants. One was closed. We got a nice giant Arabic breakfast for free. He didn't let us pay for anything, just took us around, showed us the city. We were in Dammam for the first few days, which is pretty boring. He said that Kobar is kind of like the place to be, so that's where he took us. Just did a few hours there, checking out, looking around, and yeah, it was not bad. So Dammam, and then Riyadh. After Riyadh, we had to part ways. I sold her to a goat herder as one of his 3 or 4 wives, which is unfortunate for her, I guess, but after that was the proud owner of 200 Saudi Riyal. So I got myself a nice lunch, and almost won one-way ticket to Medina from Jeddah. In Jeddah right now for the last few days of the trip. Decided to take a quick ride to Medina. It's a very nice train, actually, on par with Swiss trains, which for those who know Swiss trains is actually saying quite a lot. It was about $50 one way. You can buy it cheaper online, but it wasn't working for me. Very, very beautiful train ride. And anyways, got here. Just gonna do a quick look around. I mean, I can't really do too much besides stand out here, since I'm not Muslim. But beautiful place nonetheless. And yeah, leaving tomorrow from Saudi. Good place. That was a little quick intro before showing the video of the Biennale, where I was 2 days ago. And that was by far the highlight of the trip. One of the main reasons why I wanted to go to Saudi at the time I did. Got extended, luckily. And yeah, I guess I'll cut the video now and go show the pictures of that. So, very good. Nice place. Alright, quick drive over, and here it is. The world's first ever, best ever, and certifiably most superb Islamic Arts Biennale, hosted by the Saudi Arabian Ministry of Culture. And actually, it's so large, the exhibit, that they had to use an entire airport terminal at the Jeddah airport, which is what this is right here. And a massive parking lot cordoned off just for this. This is the VIP parking right here. And we're gonna enter soon in and check out what they have on display. And made it past check-in. The reception area has a little gift shop. It's actually pretty nice. They have some very cool handmade carpets and toys, handicrafts, clothes, stuff like that, but nothing I like too much. And then a small reception hall with some objects on loan from the National Museum and some other miscellaneous tokens and trinkets. And now, once you exit, by the way, tickets are 100% free. All you have to do is register. Then once you exit, you get out here to what I guess is the cleared out airport terminal, covered with some nice little shades. And pretty extensive exhibition, as you can see on the map. Only got about 4 or 5 hours till work, so I can probably squeeze all that in, but Gallery 1 over there, check that out, and then just keep walking around from there. Alright, this is Gallery 1, the Qibla theme. Walk in. Very dark. I know, great reviewing skills, but I'm working with what I have here. Beautiful.
What it is? What is it?
What is it?
What is this? What is it?
Sounds pretty beautiful, actually. Wow. Nice contemporary installation. First gallery is not disappointing at all. High standards to uphold. Turns out that was galleries 1 and 2. Hello. This is gallery 3. Thank you. Oh, damn. This is maybe one of the first really abstract contemporary installation exhibitions that I've seen in a long time that I've really liked. I'll show you exactly what I'm talking about. Look at that. Beautiful. Usually comes off as kind of pretentious, unskilled weirdos, just projecting their ineptitude into the too welcoming arms of museums, but I actually quite like this. You can imagine a lot of planning went into this because the Saudis do not play around when it comes to culture, especially when they're putting on the first ever Islamic Arts Biennale in the world. Quite the feat. So obviously, as you can expect, a lot of museum quality artifacts, Quranic votive art, classic woodwork. But I was expecting more than just kind of that stuff and not so much of the abstract contemporary masterpieces, which are really quite beautiful. Damn.
He will demonstrate that Imam was subjected to unrelenting brutality during his detention for 24 weeks. Better than the body that was found in his cell that made
See, about 10 minutes in, already probably the best free exhibition I've seen in the past few years.
In a prison cell, they placed him. His guilt, his plea for justice, that would not be a tyranny for most. For his dream, he died. What was it?
I am writing to you this letter out of jail. I am limited beginning. Don't worry, it's for a good cause. With the right
And then some studies.
don't mention
However the fuck you say it.
هو أبو محمد بن قاسم بن إبراهيم بن إسماعيل بن إبراهيم بن حسن.
of course, one of the main benefits of an exhibition hosted by Saudi Arabia, where is for all the intellectual Philistines located the Kaaba and Mecca, Medina, is that they can have some of the best artifacts in the world on the Kaaba and Mecca, and also Medina. Not best pictured here. The cover, the columns, the doors. Pretty much impossible for a non-Muslim to see those amazing artifacts anywhere else. Hello. And here we have the Biennale Cafe, which I'm sure is quite nice. And the main plaza, where you can find various happenings, cultural mainstays. But for now, probably finish out Gallery 5, which is right here, very conveniently located next to Gallery 4, which is attached to Gallery 3, next to Gallery 2 and 1. Almost like they planned it well. Al-Mata. Good morning. Thank you. Oh yeah. The orbit. All right, sounds promising. Sounds promising. So, when I visited the Kuwait National Museum earlier this year in January, all the artifacts of interest said they were on loan to the Jeddah Islamic Arts Biennale. And now I'm glad I finally get to see those amazing artifacts I didn't get to see earlier. Luckily for me, the Biennale was extended to May 23rd. It's currently May 4th. It was supposed to run from January 23rd to April 23rd, but I guess it was so popular they decided to extend it. Quite nice of them. And yeah, I mean, this is more along the lines of what I was expecting at first. Just a lot of beautiful artifacts, you know, museum quality stuff from around the world. And I'm certainly very happy to see it. But the contemporary setups and installations they had earlier were really, really nice, really beautiful. Get to see them in person, obviously, as all things go, to understand the scale, but hopefully, you know, if you're in a wheelchair or poor or disabled in some other way, which is a very legitimate excuse in this economy, I hope that I can show you a little piece of Arab culture and what was quite clearly a very well-planned labor of love by the KSA Ministry of Culture. Nice. I guess if you're not a nerd like me, it's probably not super exciting, but just some really beautiful stuff. Surprisingly empty here. I mean, it is peak unemployment hours right now, around 2 p.m., 2 p.m. on a Thursday. But no better time to see art, is what I say. Oh, my favorite, these wooden boxes. I love these. Got two in Jordan from a quite well-known antiquities dealing family. I'm not going to say their names because they're kind of very associated with some famous grave robbers, and they've since had to rein in a lot of their activities, but nice people. Nice. Gallery 5, not disappointing. Oh, nice. And these are from the Azerbaijan National Museum of Art, where I was, what was that, 3 weeks ago at this point? No, two weeks ago, I think. I was there after Armenia and Georgia. And then I went to Azerbaijan. Beautiful, beautiful country. Specifically Baku. I would say probably the pearl of Central Asia, from what I've seen so far. Great caviar. Beluga caviar. You can't really find husa outside of the Caspian. At least not the real one, you know. Anyways, Baku, great place. And then I went to Doha and Socotra, where I met my friend who inspired me to actually start my YouTube channel instead of just hiding my travels from the world, as I was doing before. So thank you, Gottfried. And because of that kind Dutchman, you can now see the greatest treasures of Islam on your TV screen. Just make sure to pay admission. And a little bit of oh wow, National Museum of Oman, Qatar National Library. So I guess they really did kind of draw from everywhere. Another Kaaba cover. Usually it's very hard to see those in any kind of museums. There's one really nice one in Kuwait at their Islamic, I forget what it was. I think it was a Museum of Qurans, and that was in Bahrain. But I took a picture and they weren't very happy with it. So seeing two in one place, good day. And what is this? The entrance to the Kaaba. Wow. I don't think many people realize just how amazing these artifacts are. Look at that. Check out the other side as well. And this is definitely something that, outside of this context, if you're not Muslim, you're never seeing this, because this is a Mecca mainstay, I would imagine. Wow, look at that with the lighting. That is just gorgeous. Little side door. Damn. They have some tile work from the two great mosques. Again, you would never ever see this in your life if you're not a Muslim, because because you can't go into Mecca. Unless they change things like they did with Medina, start allowing people in, but that hasn't happened yet, unfortunately, so it's the best I can get, at least. And then you can see right here, how they got all this stuff. By collaborating with the affairs of the great mosques and the Prophet's mosque, the two holiest mosques in Islam. Well, I don't know about that, but definitely the two mosques, Great and Prophet, are very, very highly regarded. To the point where the person who presides over them, their car, is in the Dammam Cultural Museum. Benaki Museum. Haven't been to their Islamic art, only been to the ones in Greece, but not bad. Cushions for the Ottoman elite. Maybe I've seen that in my past life, but first time seeing it now. Yeah, I love Islamic woodwork. For those who don't know, it's not allowed to depict God or the angels in Islam. Rather iconoclastic, but that's up to them. And so what they've done instead is that they make amazing and beautiful carvings, designs, tile work, art. And so Islamic art is actually easily by far, the number one most advanced, most developed in what was the Dark Ages of Europe, around before 1000 CE. Don't know what that is in the Muslim calendar, but it was well into the European Renaissance before anybody else in the world ever matched, or even came close to matching, the art that came out of the Islamic world back then. And you can't go to Saudi Arabia to see what I'm talking about. I highly recommend going to the Louvre, and in the basement they have a big Islamic art center, you could call it that, where you'll see some really amazing selection of Islamic art. And yeah, that's where I first developed my passion for it, when I was living right next to the Louvre and had a mission of seeing every single artifact in there, which took me 45 hours. I counted meticulously every single visit over the course of 3 months, from the moment where I stepped foot in the exhibit to the moment I stepped foot out of the exhibit, not counting any waiting times, anything like that. 45 hours, and I saw everything. And I was extremely impressed by the Islamic art, so I'm very glad to be here. And I think that concludes Gallery 5. Speaking of the Louvre, nice coincidence. Alright, so just finished Gallery 5. And what I didn't show, or at least I'm showing now in a separate video, so they actually had 5 VR headsets where they had somebody stand with a 360-degree camera in 5 of the biggest mosques in the world, 2 of which were the Prophet's Mosque and the great Mosque of Mecca, where everybody does the Hajj, the pilgrimage. It was pretty cool. Each one was like 2 minutes of just, you can look around in the headset and check out, the different parts of the mosque you probably wouldn't be able to go to as a non-Muslim. Not sure about the other 3, but definitely the Prophet's Mosque and the one in Mecca you can't. So I went with my phone and the help of a attendant, was able to check out in a very limited fashion the mosque in Mecca, and get a nice little view of the Kaaba. So you can see that, but obviously not the best view. checking out a VR headset through a phone camera. Either way, left Gallery 5 just now. They have some public programming under the canopy, supposedly, as you can see. And then the attendant, before I left, gave me a nice 20 to 30 minute unprompted lesson about Islam and history of creation, Islam, and the pilgrimage. It was actually very nice of her, very cool. She explained everything. It's a pretty informative session, and I really enjoyed it, actually. So after that, she told me that past the canopy, there are two pavilions, which we're coming up on now. The Medina Pavilion and the Mecca Pavilion. And each one has, I guess, I'm not sure exactly what it is, but items or artifacts from Mecca and Medina, respectively. This is Mecca, nice. So hopefully they have some more stuff from the Kaaba, some pilgrimage items, things that us non-Muslims wouldn't be able to see. Let's see what they got. Rare historical objects from the Kaaba and the Haram Mosque. Wow, look at that. So let's take a look at all of this. Probably, at least for me, this is definitely the highlight of the entire Biennale, because stuff like this, you're really never gonna ever see outside of a setting like this. And after... Hello. Oh, that's nice. Lock and key for the door. Just if you steal that, you can write your ticket here. Continues that way? More that way? Okay, thank you. Oh, nice. Little alcove. So that was Mecca. Now on to Medina. If only it were that easy. Visit the real cities. Well, going to Medina on Saturday, inshallah. The online ticketing platform for the high-speed railway from Jeddah isn't working, so just gonna show up there on Saturday, pray that we have tickets, pray even more that we have window seats, and then just enjoy the ride. But this is the Medina section we're coming up on. After that, I think we'll just do a little cursory tour of the back area of the under the canopy over there. I suppose there's not a ton to do over there, according to the lady in Gallery 5. But while I'm here, might as well check it out. After that, I can probably just call it a day and go back home, get some dinner. Thank you, sir. Oh, that's nice. Very cool. Beautiful. Alright, so just left Medina Pavilion right there. Turns out this is essentially the end of the road. Got a bathroom, but that's about it. And the rest of everything else is gated off. The guy there gave me a very nice tour, another 20 minutes to half an hour explanation of everything inside the pavilion. Unfortunately, too long for this video, but you can still essentially see everything you need to on the placards. But yeah, people here are very welcoming, very, very happy to share their culture. As I mentioned before, I mean, Saudi people are just... when I heard how welcoming they were from people who've actually been here, I didn't believe it. But it really is true, and you'll 100% see it if you ever do decide to visit. Unfortunately, the Biennale is ending very shortly, so probably can't visit that, but there's a lot of other cool cultural stuff to do. And if you do decide to visit, it'll be in a very central area, so I would say worth it. Even if only for a week or two, like I'm doing, before going to Oman. But I guess that pretty much wraps up the first ever, largest ever, grandest ever, most stupendous, most transcendent, most liberating, and most amazing Islamic Arts Biennale in the entire world, in the entire universe, and in Saudi Arabia, also in Jeddah. Pretty good experience, nice way to spend 2 to 3 hours. Hopefully the video did it relative justice and you got a good taste of what's on show for Saudi Arabia and for the Islamic world in terms of their art and artifacts. So I would say great free exhibition. Some of the most unique artifacts I've seen in a long time. After traveling around enough, you know, been to every country in Europe, no flex. All the artifacts, museums start to kind of blend together in terms of what they have on offer. And so it's very nice when once in a while, once in a blue moon, you get to see something very different from what you've seen before. And that's certainly the case for the Islamic Arts Biennale. So I think I'll call it here. Get a quick Uber back, round trip around $40 to city center. The only expense involved in going here to the Biennale. Yeah, probably just get some kebab, maybe some Kareem eats, and then chill out for a bit before I get to work. So definitely a good day. Shout out Carl Beebus. And yeah, 2 thumbs up. Check it out yourself next time.